Everyone out there, welcome back to The Trenches, presented by Hedge Better. We're going to pick up right where we left off, talking about whatever we want, whether it's got to do with sports, on or off the field, pop culture, anything else. We kind of just speak our minds here at The Trenches. That's what makes this show so great. I'm here with Gordon and Steve. My two guys, we always have some good banter. I know Gordon's got something he wants to get off his chest right to start.
Let's
just get right into it.
I got something I got to get off my chest, man. It's something I got to say.
Let's hear.
Did y'all see in the media yesterday? Floyd Mayweather got his hat snatched by Jake Paul. It wasn't like, yo, let me look at that. Senor no cap. That's what he was yesterday, bro.
So, all right, look.
That was crazy in front of everybody. And then he's over here like sweating, swole, going crazy, be like, hey, man, I'm going to kill this dude. I'm just like, oh, wow, this dude, Jake Paul. I'm pretty sure I thought it was Logan Paul about to get hit, but it was Jake
Justin,
Paul.
talk to him.
I'm
Bro,
like,
talk to him.
Yeah, what? All right,
my God.
Real quick. Justin's been hot and ready to go about this topic, bro. I just want to
honestly, because
go
look,
ahead.
it's one of those things where, like, I do agree, like, just in sports in general, one of the things that bugs me is like how there's just kind of like a lack of like grit and rivalry with players now. There's almost seems to be like too much like friendship with people, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, big time.
But that being said, don't stage some shit just to make it look like there's drama. I want to see that, but I don't know.
Do you really think it was staged? I mean, come on now.
I was just going to ask you.
For sure, I think real quick, I sure think it was staged.
Yeah,
but the end result, what people saw, dude's shirt all the way ripped down.
Well, that's what happened.
All busted.
His shirt. Wait, I missed that last. Wait, what happened?
That's like wrestling, bro. Wrestling is.
Oh my God.
You can still break your bones and get busted in wrestling,
That's
but
true.
it's fake.
Oh, no. You're right.
Wait, hold on. Wrestling's fake?
Oh, you just gonna break this man's heart right now.
We got to talk about Santa Claus later.
We'll talk to you about
God.
this after, bro.
Bro, my whole childhood's getting falling to pieces as we speak. I don't know what's happening, man.
Wrestling, the Tooth Fairy, it's all a
Oh,
lie,
jeez.
boy.
The Rock's not the Tooth Fairy?
Oh, yeah, he did
You saw that movie?
Yeah, I remember that shit back in the day.
So The Rock and wrestling? Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Nah, but for real,
I need another high noon.
Like, let's get back to it real quick. Like, I understand, like, what you just said.
Yeah.
Promotion, trying to get this shit out there. I understand what you're saying. They really want to infiltrate. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a big fight.
Yeah.
Everybody got to see this. But don't fake it to that point.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not wrestling. Everybody's trying to get their coin. We're talking about 20 G's to, like, almost mils. Come on now. Like, you're going to get your money. You're going to get everything that you need and wanted from this. But just don't make it extra fake.
It's not even like you're about to play, like basketball or something. You're literally about to fight each other. Like, that's your sport. You're gonna fight. So, like, what you got to stage some shit before the fight. Like, we're about to see you fight. That's already gonna happen.
See, but that's also what makes me kind of like confused about the whole situation, because my understanding, it was Logan Paul versus Mayweather.
That's what we
Why
thought
the
last
hell
time.
is Jake Paul snatching hats and getting in fights? Like, are you trying to make another fight for yourself afterwards? Like, just because it's his name? I think it's all about them just trying to set themselves up for the next fight. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it completely makes sense. It's not even about this Logan Paul. It's about them setting up, because they know if they get Money Mayweather in there, they're guaranteed a couple bones. You know what I'm saying?
Skyrocket. You know what I'm saying?
Easy, without even showing up, because people are going to pay to watch that.
If Ben Askren got $5 million to step in the ring, what do you think Floyd Mayweather's gonna get from this?
50. Easy. Minimum 50.
You think, though?
You hear this move, Money Mayweather? This guy gets checks on the regular. You think he's gonna do anything less to fight a YouTuber?
I bet
YouTuber.
I bet he's got something in there where it's like he gets paid X amount, like flat, and then he gets like a percentage of like
incentives and all that. You know?
Incentives, like how long you let it go,
or even I was even gonna say like he's probably like, look, I want maybe like 20 million no matter what happens, and then I want like 20% of like the subscription fees that come in. So you guys make like 50 million in pay-per-view. Sure. I want whatever, 10 million, something like that.
Sure,
so you know, maybe he does something like that. Who knows? But I can't see him not getting a
just
fat payday for
everything
this.
Out
yeah,
of this
like
one.
you know, especially when it's not that he's gonna lose, but he has everything to lose.
Man, he can't afford to lose, especially by a YouTuber, and everybody the world gonna think this dude's
his reputation will be completely ruined.
And I mean, 50 Cent is gonna have a field day with this man.
Did you not see what he said?
What?
He already posted.
I already know he did.
Oh my
looking rough
God.
out here, bro. Like you a grandfather now. Like you supposed to have a little something with you. You know what I'm saying? But like, come on.
He was saying something about his little rough beard that on his face. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, the pubic hairs. You look like you pulled a couple pubic hairs off your face.
I swear 50 Cent is the greatest hater of all time. No matter what you do, he's gonna hate on it. That's the best.
Hey man, but I love that. That's another promotional value that he's bringing to the aspect too. Because now people who don't even know about that fight's going on, they're like, oh wait, what's going on? 50 Cent this.
But you know what? That's the part. That's the part of me too. Where look, and maybe I'm too big of like a conspiracy theorist, but that's part of me where I'm like, I'm
not conspiracy when it's true, man.
But I'm like, yo, I'm like, look at these two businessmen who now all they had to do was create some fake drama between each other, and now I'm talking about 50 Cent too, not the public.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like behind closed doors, it's like, hey, let's make some money, hype this up, promote this, drop some shit so that people who aren't interested in the fight look it up.
Exactly.
We're both businessmen.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
You think? I think that's 100% what goes on with all that shit. Like,
man, 50 Cent has this book called The 50th Law, right? With this dude named Robert Greene. Basically about two people, 50 from the hood, and this dude Robert Greene. Established, wealthy, you know, all that, family ties or whatever.
Yep.
Two different aspects, two different roles, but they're coming together because they have that mentality of we gotta do better, we gotta get money. How can we flip whatever situation into a bigger promotional value?
Yep.
And 50 Cent's been doing that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm even talking about when he was with Floyd's camp, so he knows exactly what's going on. To your testament, what he said, exactly right, bro.
Yep.
Behind closed doors, that Floyd 50 shit is all fake.
Exactly,
I guarantee you that shit's all fake. How can we fucking keep making money off each other? All right, you doing it that way? All right, I can make some more money off you by saying X, Y, and Z about you. And people are always gonna come back.
Exactly. And this is not 50 Cent's first time doing this.
It's not his first
dude, this was even, I don't even know how long ago it was now, but it was maybe like in like 2014, 15-ish, there was like supposedly like, and this was back because like, remember 50 Cent like had that kind of lull, like when he stopped doing music and like he really wasn't doing much business wise either. He kind of just like went out of the spotlight for a while. And this was right around then. And what happened? Him and supposedly Fat Joe, some dude who fizzled out in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, got into an altercation at a club. It was all over the news, and now everyone's talking about 50 Cent and Fat Joe and looking it up. And I'm like, you think those two dudes actually went to the club and got into a fight with each other? I'm like, no.
But Justin,
like,
you want me to tell you something else that's actually really funny what you said to that? About a couple of weeks later, I think maybe even a month, Power came out. But do you see what I'm saying? But do you see what I'm saying?
That is so valid. You're talking about it. Oh my God. How good was Power though? Oh my God.
I can't wait for the Book of Kendall. But anyway, that's another story. But like he actually planned that shit out, mapped it all out, and executed it. Like, bro, like nobody, like you said, nobody gives a fuck about Fat Joe.
No.
You know what I mean? Like nobody gives a fuck. But what happened? His name's in it. It's all fucking intersections, all crossing. By the way, I'm having the show come out. Y'all should go peep that on Song. You know, like, all right, I guess I'll do that too.
Legitimately, dude. Honestly, that's why like everything I hear, like I don't even care what it is or where I hear it from. I have to dig deep and figure out where's the money coming from, because that tells you everything you need to know where the money comes from. Like the money doesn't lie.
Never.
The money doesn't lie. So like you find out where the money's coming from, who's lining that person's pockets. You find out what the true motivations and intentions of that person are. Like that's just facts. You know, so
is he lying?
He's not lying. He's not lying.
I was like, you quiet over there, so you're either thinking or you're fucking concluding.
I'm just kind of like, I'm thinking about it because, you know, like you're saying, you know, following the money, like where does it lead? And like, honestly, sometimes I think about that. I'm like, do I really want to know? Because you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes things gets to that point, like back to conspiracy theories, that like, you know, you really find out who's running the show. Then it's like, oh, wow, I just figured out something I was not supposed to know type thing. That's just crazy.
But you know what? It's like, you can't go into that type of shit with the mentality that like, I'm going to be the one that changes everything. It's like, no, you had no,
welcome to the team.
Gentlemen.
I mean, like, you go, like, I feel like you just go to that. And you're like, look, I'm following the money. Just so for my own personal knowledge, I know what's happening. Like I know what's gonna go on. Like I know like the root of like the intentions, what's happening there, and then I just have to not care about it because I feel like that's
the
what you
toughest
gotta do.
part.
That's the toughest part. Because everybody cares about everything now.
Everyone cares about everything. I know that's the toughest part. But again, that's you gotta like. That's what pisses me off. Though is when you start to like look at shit and figure out like where's the money coming from. Like I don't know. I think like you said, you start to figure out a lot of things that you don't want to think and figure out, and that's what pisses people off. So like, yeah, like you said, maybe sometimes it's better not know where the money's coming from. But
Well, they say ignorance is bliss.
Yes,
There it is.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about? But hey, I know one thing we're not ignorant on. Mac Jones.
Mac
Jones.
All right,
Yo,
Mac Jones.
Yep. Hit the draft.
All right, so yeah, let's pivot to the NFL and the draft, and I got a question for both of you
Let's
guys.
hear it.
Because you know, everyone's talking about Mac Jones. Everyone's talking about Mac Jones. It almost seemed like a foregone conclusion, even if we think back to before the draft, that like we were going to end up with Mac Jones, right?
Yes, sir.
Here's my question: we didn't trade up for him, okay? And after pick 11, once the Bears traded up and took Fields,
At 20, it went down to
four
11.
the big
Yep.
four the big five quarterbacks are now off the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Things are falling your way. A couple of the other teams that still had to pick ahead of you, they weren't necessarily risks to take a quarterback. But like by just sitting there and hoping that he falls to you at 15, especially after the other four are gone by 11, are you taking a big risk?
No, you're not. And
No.
exactly what I thought was going to happen came to fruition. I knew Fields was either going to be at our pick and we were going to take him, which I was going to be cool with either way.
Yeah.
I wanted Fields.
I wanted
Oh,
Fields
yeah,
too.
yeah,
I was
like-
a big Fields fan.
Oh, no bullshit. Like, I thought this dude was like the truth. You know what I'm saying? But when I saw the Bears make that move, they jumped up all those spots, and then you see those other fucking quarterbacks proceed to go after him.
Yep.
I knew no other team was going to take Mac, and I still felt comfortable. Because why? Nick and Bill are like this.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need to have a 4 or 5 star, recruit at quarterback. He got it to all those other playmakers. He had that line in front of him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, for sure.
Like, you don't need any of that. But if he knows what system he's in, he knows what he's going to expect. I feel like we're in great hands with Matt.
I don't
I hope
see. I
a
don't
rookie, though.
completely.
Remember-
I don't completely agree.
Remember, just a rookie now.
I
He's
know.
not starting this year. He's not doing. He's just sitting back, learning, filtering everything that he has in. We're not in a position where the Bears needed someone right then and right there. Like, bro, we're done. We've been trashed with our picks.
Yeah.
We know you're the truth, and we know you were gonna have all this shit for years to come. But the Patriots are not in that position. We lost Brady. Brady's gone.
Brady's gone.
Out
He ain't
the
coming
way.
back.
He's not coming
He
back.
not
Don't
coming
even think
back.
about that. We can't reverse time. All right?
Yep.
We got our best situation for a quarterback for next year, not this year, for next year. And I feel like that was the best thing we could do. We've had studs around him now. Well, I say we have now studs around him because of the free agency. And we made major moves in free agency.
Oh,
I'm
we have
still-
a beefed up team.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Beefed up roster.
But
Definitely,
compared to like last year,
definitely.
though, like we had
Yeah.
really no it. Granted, Cam was throwing that bitch in the dirt 10 yards away from people or in front of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
Post
can't have
COVID
that.
Cam was such a shame. I was
Such a
I was
fucking shame.
I was so excited. Guy got COVID after 3 games and had the 3 best games he's had in years, and he gets COVID, absolutely drops it. Drops the
I
ball.
will say
Like,
this
it's tough.
though.
Right.
I will say this about Cam, and just a quick observation about Mac Jones and the Patriots. I do want Cam Newton to be the week 1 starter. I do want to see Cam Newton out
will.
there in week 1. I think it's you know what I mean? Like I think that's just I think Bill's smart with that. Like he knows like he's gonna make Mac Jones earn it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But by the same token, not only just make Mac Jones earn it and make sure Mac Jones is ready, I'm still not sold that this can't be a really good team with Cam Newton as the quarterback, especially when you beef up his O-line, you give him good weapons to throw the ball to, and you shore that defense up. Like he has another year in the system now with like that offense, like that team, like a full off season now. He's gonna have a full off season. Like I'm hyped about Mac Jones, but like if I'm being more honest, I'm more hyped to see the former NFL MVP with a good team around him get out there.
But do you see what
Like-
I'm saying? Like we know
Yep.
where Cam is.
Yeah.
Cam was that dual threat quarterback, the running and the passing. The running, he has to slow down on that shit because
he gonna get hurt.
Goddamn hits, man. You know what I'm saying?
But the beginning of last year, though, he was running. He was taking those hits.
He was feeling it, bro.
He was.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. He had all that
Juiced
energy.
up.
Yeah.
But I was definitely scared though that first game how hard he was running. I'm like, yo, if this guy tries to do this for 16 games, he's 100% going. The first game, I'm looking at him as if he wanted to play running, but he's like, man, I'm gonna run through everyone, and I'm like, I see you, Cam. I know you can do it. I never had a problem with that. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to do it for 16 games this season. I'm not going to tell you.
Was he doing all that from the jump, though? Not just because he was ready and itching to go. He had no one to throw to, bro.
Yeah.
He really had
nobody.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I understand exactly what you're saying. He wanted to run, do all that shit. And I wanted to see that, and I was hyped to see that. Yeah. But it's like, yo, if we have no one to get the ball to, what else are we supposed to do? You know
exactly.
What I'm
like I didn't like. Don't get me wrong. Cam Newton didn't play good last year, but like I didn't blame him. I didn't blame Cam.
It's not 100% his fault.
Yeah.
No,
it's not 100% his fault.
I don't think so.
I couldn't blame him because he had COVID. All the issues going on. You know what I'm saying?
And he just didn't have a good team at all.
And
it's your first year in a complicated new system. Very
complicated system.
So you know what? It's kind of like last year. It would have been a surprise if like the Patriots were like legit contenders and like he went off to me, honestly, because I think there was a lot that needed to be kind of worked out, a lot of kinks that needed to be worked out. Yep. One thing I will say though about the Patriots this year, and this is maybe I think would work out well for Mac Jones. You guys tell me if you think I'm wrong, but the Patriots team that they have reminds me a lot of like what Alabama traditionally is, right? And I say I say that because Alabama, usually I've never liked quarterbacks out of Alabama. Like I didn't like AJ McCarron when he was on that tear.
I did not.
You knew he was only a system quarterback for college, bro.
Like, you knew
that though.
I like I look. I know
that just always makes me laugh.
But like, I don't even know if he's. I think he's like still in the league as a backup. Like I don't even know.
No, he is. He is.
Like I don't even know if he ever even like started like a game legitimately, like earned like a started spot. Like on a
no,
team,
he
like,
did from injury. I'm pretty sure he started the game last year.
No, from injury though. I'm saying like he never earned like a start.
No.
So and think of it in before and after AJ McCarron. It was just all a bunch of no names. And the book is still out on like Hurts and Tua. And I'm not gonna lie, like they might wind up being good NFL quarterbacks, but like I wasn't super impressed with them in college either. So like I mean, I know some people like them. Like some people love Tua, and it's funny because like Hurts kind of like got pushed out, and he might wind up being like the best out of like the three. Yeah. But I think my thing with Mac Jones is I'm like he was successful in a team where what did they do, right? What's the Alabama way? You get a system quarterback.
Right.
You put beefed up O-line in front of him.
5 stars.
Yep. Give him all 5 stars. Right. And then you give him 5-star skill players, right?
Running backs, Waddle.
Wide receiver.
Fonte.
Yeah, exactly. And then you put a star-studded 5-star defense behind him. And you go out there and you have your game manager win you championships. And that's something that that Belichick and the Patriots never been able to do. The way that he went out and Belichick went out and beefed up the Patriots O-line, their defense, like their skill players, and then went and got like a Mac Jones system quarterback. I feel like we're going to be watching like Alabama 2.0
and
like this year.
And here, even more to your point, we got Mac first round, right?
Yeah.
Then we proceeded to go get who? Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle. So that, in my mind, it only makes it easier for Mac and then also for Christian at the same time. Bro, we were just at the same place. Now we're going to the same spot that's damn near the same as college, but we're just professionals. They're all about organization.
Literally, that's what Barmore said. He said he's like legit. They're winners. They're like organized. Like,
you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But like
exactly.
that's some real shit because you need that. Now you have someone on the offensive side and someone on the defensive side coming from the same school, knowing what they're supposed to be expected of because of who was their previous coach, Nick. Who's your new coach? Bill. Simultaneously, they're the same goddamn person of how they get shit done. You know what I'm saying? After that, they went round 3.
Yep.
Got another defensive end. Ronnie Perkins, Oklahoma.
You know, he's supposed to have like round one talent, but I guess he slipped for like behavioral issues.
It's all character flaws.
Exactly,
All
yeah.
character flaws, and that's a big deal. You
What's
know
the
what I'm saying?
What's the number one team that can handle character flaws?
But that's what the Patriots have always been good at, taking players that have character flaws and letting them shine.
There was a
them.
guy from back in the day. I remember it was like a free agent signing. He was from Oakland. Oh yeah, Randy Moss.
Randy.
Remember Randy?
Moss.
Motherfucking moon everybody.
Rand
remember that
University. Rand University. Randy
And they
Moss.
were like, man, Randy Moss is done. We're riding him off, blah, blah. He goes out to New England. I will never forget this. He went to the fucking Meadowlands playing the Jets, did a post route, beat 3 DBs.
I remember that.
You remember what I'm saying?
I remember that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
the
he had.
post from the right side all the way to the left, opened that bitch up, and from then he made history with that.
I think he had 4 touchdowns that game.
that first, yes, bro. That's
I think
when
he did.
that's how like stuck and ingrained in my mind
Yeah.
that was, because we've heard nothing about, oh, he's a black player, he does this. Then you hear about him, oh, he just smokes weed. Back in the day, that was just like the biggest.
That was big
That
taboo
was just
back
the
in the day,
biggest
yeah.
threat. Like, he smokes weed. Dude has a big ass afro coming in. I do this, talking different, all this shit. But he comes to New England. Bill gets in him right. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
you're with this team. We didn't win shit with them, but we got damn near close.
We damn
And
near
isn't,
did.
You know what I'm
isn't
saying?
that crazy? Because when you think about the type of like philosophy and like no nonsense coach like Bill is, like he doesn't like a lot of players say, like you hear him talk openly, like they don't want to come play in New England, like it's not fun here, like it's this and that. And it's so funny because when you get those types of players, like the Randy Mosses, like the Aaron Hernandez, is the players who had like the you know, just something up here that,
Something, yeah.
but like
Some character flaws.
some character
Yeah,
flaws,
that's what
exactly.
it's
Some
called,
character, literally just character flaws. But then they you would think that the system that they're coming into is so incompatible with those character flaws, but somehow it like has like an opposite effect.
You know why? It's like a rehabilitation center.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yes, drill sergeant. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you
Because
send
everyone
a badass
knows.
kid to boot camp.
Basically, and you come in here, you do what you're supposed to do. If you don't, we don't care how good you are. Man, they kept Tom Brady in check too when he wanted to
They
do
did,
his thing.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The greatest quarterback in NFL history.
I think just
Was put on check, you know what I'm saying?
And that's me
One of them-
being so unbiased. Yeah.
And that's just one of those things. And so the fact is that you come here, you know it's more about the team than yourself. Even if you don't believe that at first, you will believe it when the season starts. And it's just like that. That's just what happens.
Yeah, I agree. All right, no, I think let's talk a little bit more like general draft stuff, right? I want to get you guys takes on a couple picks. So, what do you guys? First off, what do you guys think about the Jamar Chase pick? There's a couple picks that I want to go through. A couple teams that made some picks in the first round, and I want to see. I just kind of want to get some other opinions on it. So I want to start with the Bengals and Jamar Chase. I think I think they picked at number 6.
Right.
Here's my thing, and I've heard a lot of people love it. I hear a lot of people say that you know, they have this connection, him and Joe. Like, you got a new quarterback. The quarterback gets what he wants. Like, he's that Jamar Chase is a franchise like talent, wants the generational type of player.
Right.
That being said, on draft night, when I looked at the Cincinnati Bengals in their roster, a wide receiver is probably on paper the last thing that team needed. That team needs O-line.
For sure.
That team needs defense. They have a quarterback. They have a running back. They have skill players. They even need a tight end. So I guess my problem with that was, I get his relationship with Burrow and how good they are, not probably potentially going to be. I think it's a fact. I think they're going to be nasty in the NFL.
For sure.
But on paper, I think you took maybe the player that you needed the least. What do you guys think?
Didn't they get rid of AJ?
They got rid of AJ, but you still got Higgins and Boyd, and then they still got a couple other
Higgins.
guys. You know
Higgins
what I mean?
and
Like,
Boyd, they're kind of on the smaller end, right?
no,
like
they're
Higgins.
both
That's what I'm
big
trying,
bodies.
I'm
They're
trying
both
to
big
figure out.
bodies.
That's why I'm like, I really don't. But just to say that it was that LSU connection, because also during free agency they picked up Randy's son as a tight end.
They picked up Randy's son.
Oh yeah, they did.
I was a big
They
fan
did.
of
I
Randy's
forgot
son.
about
at
yeah,
that.
they
LSU,
picked up
bro.
Randy's son as
Yeah.
a tight end. So like,
Yeah.
I think that
Moss,
helps with the
Thaddeus
tight
Moss,
end.
right? Yeah. I
Thaddeus.
really liked watching
And
him
he was
play in
really
college.
good at blocking too. Like,
That's the main thing.
But don't like. That's what I'm trying to attest to you. Like, don't get like too much into it.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make Joey feel comfortable. Bro,
But you got a generational quarterback that's coming off a torn ACL.
Exactly.
And you're not going to beef up his O-line when he already has weapons around him. You got someone. All I kept hearing is how this dude Penei Sewell, is that how you pronounce it? Penei Sewell. All I kept hearing is how he's a generational player, like an all-pro every year, like O-lineman, like someone that you can bank on, like build a franchise around. And he's sitting right there, and you got a quarterback coming off a torn ACL, 2 stud wide receivers, a good running back. You just signed a nice tight end, and you have the quarterback for the next 20 years. And you pass on Penei Sewell and go Jamar Chase. That I think is a little crazy to me. I don't know. Maybe in the long run it will work out for them. It just seemed crazy to me at the time. I don't know.
I really can't. Yeah, go ahead. The only thing I could say about it is it just wanted to make him feel comfortable.
I guess, yeah.
And it sucks because, like, like you just said, he's coming off.
I mean,
like
you gotta think about this, right? He's a young boy, young man. He's a young boy. I'm sorry,
that southern came out of him real quick.
He's a young man. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off a big leg injury, and I get it. No matter how confident you are, he's gonna have a little shakes when he gets in there because now he's coming back in, playing against some of the same big boys. He's gonna need that protection. He's gonna want that protection because he wants. It's not even the fact that he needs an extra second in the pocket. It's more of that he wants that comfort zone so that he can play his game.
So he knows, that's Thad right there.
Yeah. Boom.
That's Jamar right there.
Boom.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be real quick. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I mean, look, I guess if you're looking at it as a long-term project and you're like, all right, look, let's get him the weapon that's going to be like the next Matt Ryan, Julio Jones type of combo.
For sure. Great combo. Great combo.
You know what I mean? Because because I guess to their point, it's like if you're not trying to win the Super Bowl this year, right?
Right.
They're like, okay, well, there isn't a Jamar Chase in the next class. There might be someone who's like good, but there's not going to be someone who already has a relationship and friendship with Joe Burrow coming out, right? So it's like maybe I guess their mentality is you go for that and you get. Like maybe the next year you beef up your O-line, but I don't know. I guess you just hope in the meantime, like you protect your young quarterback enough that like he doesn't start to get seriously hurt.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that because like I'm thinking about what you're saying. Like they didn't get Penei Sewell, who they should have gotten, but like there was a historic amount of offensive linemen taken in this draft, like in the first 2 rounds too.
But I'm pretty sure like the general consensus from what I heard is that the 2 best ones, right? It was Penei Sewell and then the kid from I think it was Washington. I forget his name. I forget his name, but he was from Washington. He went to the Giants.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
And I heard that pretty much. I heard like the scouting report was like, yeah, there's a ton of O linemen, but after those two guys, it kind of drops off like to the rest of people. So I'm thinking like. I mean, it might be deep, but if they're talking about a sure Spitfire generational
real quick, to what you just said, to that testament, they said after those 2, everybody else kind of drops off. Pretty much, like when you're going to the league and like you made a name for yourself in college and like you won all these accolades, superlatives, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Like you're only gonna get developed at a more rapid rate than you were in college. And that means, like, I don't care if you went to a D3 college or you went to Alabama, like, you're just going to get that more attention to detail when you're one-on-one with those coaches as a lineman. Now, per se, if you're a wide receiver, skill position anyway, like, you have to have that skill. Like, you can tone it up, you can get a little better at it, but generally that shit just has to come within you. Like, you have to have that naturally. Yeah. But like I said, you can always work at some stuff. But think about this. You're like a 6'4", 300-plus pound man. They're trying to tell you got to get lighter on your feet. They're going to give you drills to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, it's funny to hear that you said they dropped off after those first 2.
No, I mean, that's obviously not my opinion.
No, I know that. Yeah, I'm just saying it's always funny to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It is,
for sure. I think it is. I think it's funny. I think, look, obviously it's super tough to judge, right? Like, there's no way you can say for sure. I'm just saying, they made this kid, Penei Sewell, out to seem like there's no, like, unless he continuously tears his ACL year after year, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, that's the way they basically describe this kid. You know what I mean? So it's like, if that's the case, some team's going to be
fuck
lucky
did
to
y'all
get him.
do
I don't know.
that?
Yeah. But again, we'll see if it works out. It's obviously, the book is out. It's a little too late. Like, who knows? There might be some good old linemen that they can pick up in the next couple of years or in free agency, and the Jamar Chase pick works out, and they have just an unstoppable offense. But, we'll see. They got no defense right now, so.
Speaking of no defense, I have this is a elaborate theory that I have over here.
Ooh,
elaborate,
I like
in
this.
detail.
Okay.
Rubs hand like Birdman.
The Falcons
Yeah.
drafted Pitts.
Yeah.
That boy's
They brought in this. They brought in Pitts to be their new stud tight end. Watch, he's gonna fit in with that program. But what people aren't paying attention to is
Yep, go ahead.
the Julio Jones conversation in the back room. This dude is projected to gain an extra $7-8 million if he's not traded or released within the next couple months. Do you know how much that is? That's about $30 million. So I think $30+ million that, honestly, with Ridley and the things they have, if they got rid of Julio Jones, they could come back with a lot of that money and completely revamp their defense, which is something they vastly need. Ridley becomes the number one. They have a few other great targets they have. Yeah. Completely change their entire team by just, trading Julio. Granted, Julio Jones is one of the best receivers I've seen. I love watching Julio Jones, but I'm talking about from a team standpoint, the team would benefit more
So much.
by getting rid of Julio Jones.
Well, look, he's still a beast, but he's starting to get a little older. And even though Kyle Pitts is technically a tight end, they talk about
That
how
man's
his
a
ability.
receiver.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck all that
Do
other
you
shit. That
understand?
man's a
He could
receiver,
be
yeah.
like Julio, like is given his bodies, like he could be like
He's a big
slightly
body.
bigger Julio
like Shannon
Jones.
Sharp,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, he's like
no
yeah,
bullshit. He's like Shannon Sharp.
So I honestly, yeah, I could see them trying to move on from Julio. I mean, because it's funny because that's another team where it's like again. It's from what I heard about Kyle Pitts, it's like he's so good, he's that generational that like any team that he falls to has to just take him, right? And I think that's what the Falcons did.
100%.
But it was super funny to me because I'm like, here's a team that has Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley.
Right.
They went out and got Hayden Hurst last year, who's regarded as like a good tight end, and he started to really come on the end of last year.
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay. Then they go out and take Kyle Pitts. So that's another situation where I'm like, it's so interesting, like to see like the decision making that goes on, like in just like the thought process where it's like it might not be the need that your team needs, but if they're that good, you get them and shift the other pieces around accordingly. I guess
But here's my thing on it too. It's round one. All those coaches for like months now already know who they're picking.
They've been known.
Unless something catastrophic that just blows up on their board. And they just like scrambling like last second, like this is not even plan B, this is plan D.
Yep.
That's when they're going to make another move. But to say what you said, they're going to have to get rid of Julio to make that cap space much more better for them for the long run. Because like I said, we don't know how the season's going to go for them per se. And they don't have a fucking defense.
They haven't had a defense in quite some time, and it shows. It's honestly, it's kind of embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? It's something that they need to focus on. And with this Julio situation, like I said, phenomenal athlete, absolute freak show. But how many games was he out last season being injured? How many games? A few games, right?
He was out for at least a month, maybe and a half.
When he played, he was top tier. But you know what I'm saying? The best ability is availability. And you know what I'm saying? When you're hurt, it comes tough when you're talking big money like that.
Yeah, that was such a weird situation with him last year because it was like he was pretty much questionable all week, like every week. And then like if he played, he went the fuck off. But then like if you know
keep
what
going.
I mean?
No, keep going.
If he played, like he went the fuck off. But then like he'd play, he'd go the fuck off, and then they'd be like, oh, he's questionable again, he's injured, and then like he wouldn't play the next week, and it's like, what? Like, is it a new injury or like how come the old injury that was affecting him, like he could play last week, but now
think it's a two-parter, bro. I really think it's a two-parter because they've been in this negotiation works with his contract ever since last year. And I don't know if y'all were seeing rumors that were like, oh, they might even trade him like midway through last year.
Yeah.
All the way up to week 8. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm thinking he already knows my shit's about to end.
Yeah.
These people are not going to pay me for real. And they're really not going to trade me. So I'm going to go out there under my own volition. I'm feeling it this week. I guess I'll play. Oh, in my contract, I have to play X amount of games. If I am hurt or if I'm not. That's also in the contract
For the incentives, for the incentives.
Exactly. That's also in the contract as well.
Yep.
So he's playing it smart, like a businessman. Like
Sustainability.
Because he's thinking about the long con.
For sure. If he wants to sign another deal after, he's got.
And you know another team's going to be like, oh, you're Julio. Yeah. For sure, come on down.
Yeah.
But the Falcons are doing him dirty, so what they did, they played him dirty as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to make us, be elite? You're going to keep questioning if you're going to play this week, not play this week? Cool. That's all right. We're going to go down to Florida.
See when we see
We'll go down to Florida. We'll get someone just like you.
Literally.
We'll get someone just like you.
Florida boys are different, man. Let me tell you.
But it's that Florida water.
I swear
it is. Who else did you want to talk about, bro? I know there's another person on your mind.
All right, there's a couple of people. This pick I actually really liked. Najee Harris to the Steelers.
Najee Harris was good. That was a good pick for them.
I'm even gonna clap for that one. I'm even gonna clap
Connor, dude.
Bro,
it was such a good pick.
If there was one thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers taught us last year, and granted, there might have been some other stuff that went on that we don't know about, but once they were 8-0 at one point, okay? That team was 8-0, smacking teams around. Once people figured out they were one-dimensional, and their offense literally was all passing, and they had no running game. That team went down the shitter faster than I've ever seen, bro. Ever seen.
I saw. I'll never forget this. Right. Hold on, real quick, before you get into. Bro, I saw one game last year, right, where they ran the ball 4 times in the quarter. In a quarter, 4 times in a quarter. That is unprecedented. And it's unheard of.
Crazy. It's crazy.
You have been back there.
Bro.
It's cool, but it's like, you really don't have anyone else because, like, after Juju, and I think Juju was like 22, maybe 23. Yeah. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying for the rest of that
19,
team. Yeah, but I'm saying as far as the wide receivers on that team, he was a veteran.
Yeah.
At 22, 23, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a fucking problem.
Legit.
When your veteran is out there making TikToks, dancing on the field before and after the game.
That was so embarrassing.
Did you see Alejandro Villanueva took a shot at him?
Oh, what'd he say?
So he just went to the Ravens.
Yeah, I know.
So he released a statement basically saying like I don't want to misquote him, but it was something to the effect of like with like the Ravens like the like or basically like the Steelers that's what he was talking about, how the running backs and the O linemen get no clout, and it's all like the receivers who like go around taking like stealing all the like the shine and like having a good time and
that's
like
nothing new.
Like posting on them. But he was basically like took a jab at like how like the receivers are like having a good time making their TikToks and like whatnot. It was something to that effect. Like he called them out basically being like, we're in the trenches and we don't get any like the respect, and you guys are out there exactly, and you guys are out there like making TikToks in the field. It was. I don't want to misquote him. It was something along those lines. It was basically something that like you can't mistake that it was about like Juju and those receivers for the Steelers.
So
let's hear it.
The Steelers were the fakest 11-0 team I had ever seen. And I pulled up the list because I saw someone go through them, and I'm going to go through them again. Like, it was so, like, I get it. They were 11-0, but did you see who they was playing?
Were they 11-0?
They were 11-0, and they lost the games right out. They lost 5 games in a row.
Did it start on the skid with the Ravens?
No, the Redskins.
The Redskins. That was the first thing.
Maryland. I knew it was the
Washington football team.
Oh, the R words. Oh, sorry.
My fault.
I don't know. I'm hardwired.
WFT.
We're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut that out.
It's gonna take me a few years to stop saying that. I'm just hard. I'm just hardwired to say that,
But we respect all traditions and faiths and stuff. Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So. Literally, the first game, they played a bummy New York Giants. Terrible. Honestly, I don't even want to go into detail. They're not worth my time to tell them how bad they were last year. Denver Broncos. Who the hell are the Denver Broncos right now?
Who are they?
Do they have a quarterback?
It was a 4-string, bro.
Is it Drew Lock?
It was a 4-string at one point. Yep.
Or Brett Rippin.
Terrible.
You feel me?
The thing is,
I mean, they were good in college, man, but this is a whole nother monster.
It's different. And they barely beat them.
Yeah.
Now you have an unidentifiable Houston Texans. You know what I'm saying? Got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They have no idea who they are. Deshaun kind of hates his life. JJ Watt wants to leave at this point. Oh, we don't have to get into Deshaun right now. We don't got to get into Deshaun right now.
At that point, he loved his life.
You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, he was
loving something. That's for damn sure.
Too much.
But the Philadelphia Eagles, they have been trying to figure out what they need to do the entire first half of the season. Obviously, they've made their choices. They made their decisions, as we know now. Yeah. Carson Wentz is gone. Hurts is the new starting quarterback over there for them. But
did you see? Hold on. Did you see what that coach said though?
Oh,
remember he was saying like, "Oh, he's going to be our starting quarterback." I'm gonna let you finish it. He said, "You're going to be our starting quarterback."
Who said that?
Their head coach, their new head coach.
The Eagles said that.
Yeah,
about
Jalen. And then exactly. Then it was like 2 weeks, a month later. Yeah, we don't know if he's going to be our starting quarterback.
Yep,
we're like, what the?
But like, wait, who else would be? Who else is their quarterback? Who's their backup? Carson Wentz is gone. The
new coach.
I don't know, bro.
He came in and he was just like, there are no guarantees who will be starting week one. Literally, he came in. There was like, if
I was Hurts, I'd be like, look, I get you trying to motivate me, but like, I don't even know who the backup is.
I'd be like, bro, did you see the last 2 games of last year? Like, I could have won us some, and then my coach pulled me out. Like, he could have won them some games, and then the coach was just like, nah, pulled him out.
Look, that's either just a coaching tactic that is just not like properly. Because look, sometimes that, like when Bill Belichick and
because that was Doug who did that one.
Doug, right?
That was Doug who did that to him. Now Doug is gone.
It. Right, Doug who made the switch.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, look, I get that. I get there's a time and place for like, you know, coaches to come out and like, you know, subtly motivate players and talk about how like nothing's given, you got to earn your spot, blah blah blah. But like, I just don't like in this context. I don't get it because who is he competing with? Like, who does he have to compete with? And like, not only that, but like, what did like he do wrong? So like, I don't get that. Like, you know,
like. We're looking up on the roster. Right?
So I'm looking at the roster.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For what?
Which one?
For the Eagles.
Oh yeah. I don't know who they quote. I don't know.
Let me look it up. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, like
because like that's my thing is like if you had a situation where it was like, okay, you got like Jalen Hurts and then they traded and brought in like a veteran, like who
doesn't even matter, just a veteran,
just like a veteran who's like showed that he can play, right? And then you're like, okay, like hey. Like a Fitzpatrick. Let's say they brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick into Philly, right?
For sure.
And then you could, as a coach, you could be like, hey, like, you know, you got to earn your starting job week one.
Because we have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Because we got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's been a nomad around this league for years.
And he's proven he can come out and win games.
The two quarterbacks.
Yeah, please. I need to see this.
I have to hear this, bro.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco.
That's not even a question, bro. That's not even
literally
question.
Not even a question.
Joe Flacco.
He had that fluke ass year and won the Super Bowl.
I mean, wait. So, is he basically? Is he basically?
You're absolutely right, bro.
But is he? So look, it's one of two things. It's either like a coaching. It's either a coaching move that was super ill timed because it doesn't make any sense because there's no competition. And he just sounds stupid.
And they didn't have Joe at the point. Yeah.
Or he's being like maybe he's hinting that. We have plans to bring somebody else in. Like what? Like the only other way that could make sense is if he was like, maybe, like, look, maybe we might get like Aaron Rodgers, and I don't want to tell this kid he's going to be the starter.
Oh, yeah,
but they've been jerking this dude around ever since last year. And it's the last coach.
But
it's just shitty.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, no, I feel you on that.
It's stupid as hell. Like, I can't defend the coach saying something like that just because I think it's just ridiculous. If I was Jalen Hurts, that would immediately turn me off to the coach because I'd be like, what a hardo. I'd be like, I don't even have anybody to compete against. Why you like why you
against
like
Joe Flacco?
You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
I mean,
Joe Flacco doesn't even want to be there, bro. He legit does not want to be there.
He got his ring, and I don't know why he's still in. I would have got that ring.
Joe Flacco is there because he's getting paid. That's why he's there. He's not there because he wants to be there.
And he knows he's not going to start.
100%.
He knows he's not going to start.
Dude, dude, no
he's chilling.
chance, bro. He doesn't even have his cleats on. He's in
slides.
Yeah,
He's showing the trainer's getting his legs warmed up. You know what I'm saying? Like
you look at him on the side. He's eating a sandwich. He knows he's not going to the game, bro. He's Joe Flacco.
Big Joe.
That's just so disrespectful.
He's like, well, technically they needed a backup in the roster, so that's why I'm here.
A veteran.
But I'm not gonna. Don't worry, I'm not gonna play, guys. I'm not gonna play.
I'm more of a leader here, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping on the field, but I'm here as a motivational leader to teach young Jalen how to be a Super Bowl champion like I was.
He's like, yeah, I'm a locker room presence.
Like I was. If I was Jalen, I heard that. Like I would have been like, bro, come meet me out in the parking lot real quick. Like I'm not.
I would have been like, bro. I mean, Anquan Bolden has something to say about that because without a couple of his catches, bro, you guys would have been out like first round to Denver. Like,
and that man Ray.
Speaking of statements, I know we kind of diverged a little bit from the draft, and I went off on the Steelers. The Steelers only should probably won a couple of those games they won, but the other ones are just flukes. But speaking of starting quarterbacks who were previous in their prime at one point in time, and like a new guy coming in, 49ers. Jimmy G made a statement, and he was just like, hey, I'm here to teach this young guy how to be great. Like, I'm really excited that he's joining the team because, they picked up Trey Lance. And
yeah, I know.
And people, and so like, I
didn't even want to talk about the 49ers.
I kept looking at
him. I was like, fucking.
I knew it, bro. I had to bring it up because so my thing is because some people were offended that he went off and said that he's excited to be like a mentor and motivator to help him get adjusted to the system because they're like, bro, why would you help a guy, who's going to take your job? Why would you do this?
Team.
You know what I'm saying?
On a team, but
bro,
it's a team.
Exactly.
But yo, I think my thing is like, and I actually really want to hear what you got to say about this. But I guess my big thing is like, from what I'm hearing and I've heard, I'm not the first person to say this, but I keep hearing that Trey Lance is like a 2-3 year project before he's like a viable like NFL starter. Like, can't forget, like he might have raw talent, but he's like the most like it's like statistically like he's the most inexperienced like quarterback to like ever get taken.
He's had a crazy journey,
like the first round. So it's like maybe there's a mutual understanding that it's like, yeah, hey, I'm here to be the guy eventually, but like not for another 2-3 years. You probably won't be here in another 2-3 years. You probably won't even be here like in 2 years. You'll probably just get like a franchise tag or a 1 year deal to keep you here while I'm like training for a year or so. Like, so I don't think Jimmy sees himself being a long-term San Francisco 49er quarterback. So I don't think he's threatened by it. I really don't.
Yeah. I completely understand that. My thing is, Jimmy, that's his home as of right now. And obviously he's going to the media saying he's ready to learn. He's ready to teach this kid. He's ready to help him, grow as an athlete because he's trying to show face. He's like, I'm a leader here. I'm not going to badmouth this kid. I get it. It's a competition. But what else could he say? Anything else he could have said would have been spin zone, made him look like a devil, could have made him look like this, that, because how the media works. It's kind of like, what else could he do other than say, I'm going to help him be the best he can be? True. To also be, Jim, what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Imagine if he was just like, yo, fuck that kid. I'm not doing shit.
You know what?
Jimmy would instantly become.
I was going to be cool, but I woke up and chose violence.
Jimmy G chooses violence. The biggest headline I've ever seen in my entire life.
Breaking news, Jimmy Garoppolo chooses violence today.
San Francisco son, fuck that kid.
With the Michael Jordan meme in the
kids. And at that moment, I took it personal.
Oh, geez. I mean, yeah, honestly, now that you say that, you're actually right. What else is he supposed to say?
What else is he supposed to say? Everyone's like, oh, he could say this because he's like, no, dude, no matter what he said, it would have been spun zone. Yeah. I really think in the back of mind, he might not think he's right or whatever. I think Jimmy's kind of like, fuck this kid, but he's also like, fuck me. They really trying to get me out now. I guess I gotta have like some crazy ass season. So, you know what I'm saying?
Let me talk about this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy G, bro. Like he's been through a lot of shit.
For sure.
From Bill basically getting him kicked out of New England and Rob wanted him to stay there because of the God in the mix. Tom shipped him off, right? Gets there, he was doing all right. He was doing okay. You know what I'm saying? Not too bad. He was just behind Brady, like he's trying to get his own thing going. Then he gets hurt. Fuck, that shit happens. Everybody gets hurt sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Some are worse than others. His just happened to be like the worst of the worst. He gets back. He gets right. Now, sucks to say this. Now, they pick, I don't even want to say a project, like street art, I guess. Maybe this could be worth something. Maybe this could not be worth something someday. Because we're looking back at his record, and I'm looking at his competition at North Dakota State, and I'm talking about Trey Lance, by the way. People are getting confused. And it's just like, all right, it was cool. Some of those throws are all right. I don't know who those people are, and I damn sure don't know who those defenders are, but they're not going to be the same caliber. As in, they're going to be way, way more fierce, way more on top of it, way more precise about how they're taking on their receivers and how they're going to be looking at his eyes and all that.
Facts.
But that's just too damn high of a pick. Did he go number 3?
Yeah, he went number 3.
That's top 5, bro. That's too damn high of a pick. Because he didn't have all the accolades that Carson did he? I'm being so serious because I didn't see any of that. Even in the little clips that they showed draft night, I'm like, yeah, these are some cool throws, these some cool passes.
Oh,
footwork
100%.
wasn't there. Shoulders are all, you know what I'm saying? Just like little shit like that.
Go, and you go. You go first.
So my thing is like, I love to listen to Deion Sanders prime time. I think he's one of the most like inspirational dudes on the net right now. And I was listening to him talking about draft day, and Deion was very optimistic about Trey Lance. And I'm thinking to myself, if Prime is saying this, I got to look into it more.
Yep.
And then if you look at some of his stats, he had some of the least amount of picks in this season. And it's like, okay, what does that mean? That means he's a good decision maker. He knows what's good and what's not good. He has natural athletic talent. He can throw a freaking bomb. What does he have to do? Learn the game. That's literally his thing. Yes, he's inexperienced, but once he gets that experience and he can actually learn the game, I feel like he's going to break out. People keep making that comparison with him and Patrick Mahomes. And what happened with it, I mean, granted, I have no idea if he will be of that caliber, but all I know is in Patrick Mahomes' first year, he started, balled out, but he didn't learn how to read a defense.
His first year playing.
His first year playing.
Right.
First year playing. And then his next year of starting, he ended up breaking out, having an absolute season. You know why? And like they asked him, like, Patrick, what was the biggest difference from last year to now? I learned how to read a defense. I learned how to read a defense. And so that just shows you how much potential that is out here for a kid that is a good decision maker, has the athletic ability, but if he learns how to read a defense, he learns how to play the game of football the way it's supposed to be played.
Yep.
I think he has potential to be good. Just like you're saying, he could be a piece of art. He could be street art. Anything's possible. He could be phenomenal. He could be a bust, but we won't know until he throws that first ball.
So I kind of love that you say that. So on the Dr. Football show that we do over here at Hedge Better, I was talking about this with Dr. Football, and he, my argument to him was basically that exact thing, is that like Trey Lance, like he seems to be like a good leader. He seems to be like super athletic, have like all the raw talents, stuff like that. So I do actually think that like, yeah, maybe he's inexperienced. I do think he can be coached and worked up into a very good NFL quarterback. Here is my big question. Mm-hmm. When you look at those 5 quarterbacks that were there, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going for a certain style of quarterback, so let's just divide them up, right? Let's just say if you look at Mac Jones, you look at what's his name, Zach Wilson, mm-hmm. and you look at what's his name, Kelly, not Kelly, Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
You look like a Kelly.
Yeah, but he does. They're both. They're all more like that. Yeah, he does look like.
He looks like a Kelly.
Yeah, but they're like traditional like pocket passers more so, right? Like I get they could maybe scramble a little bit, but they're pocket passers traditionally, right?
For sure.
Fields and Lance are your mobile, like new age types of quarterbacks. Why the fuck did you go Trey Lance over Justin Fields, bro?
That point. My point.
Like,
he could, like what you said, Gordy. Mm-hmm. That's all good and true, bro. But we saw this man playing in the Big Ten.
Yes.
In the playoffs. I know I'm getting a little loud, but it's just like, come on, it's just common sense at this point.
Right.
You saw this man balling the fuck out in the playoffs, proving people wrong every single turn that he went. Went to All-Star games. Wasn't there to make friends, because that's what you normally do when you go to All-Star games. You know your career is done as a college player. Like, you're going to the NFL. Like, this is where you want to meet friends, make connections, all this shit. He went down there, balled his ass off. Like, I could have made friends, but I said, fuck that. I want to win this shit. And he went out and won that shit. So you already know what kind of guy you're getting right there. Why the hell wouldn't you just take him?
That's what I'm saying. Why are you picking the project?
But I'm saying, like, even if you felt like that, you felt like this dude, straight up Trey Lance is going to be that guy in the future. We don't even want to take Justin. He's going to be there the next round. He is going to be there the next round, like straight up.
I got to know. I have to know the deciding factor. I got to know the deciding factor, why they didn't go this way in the route with Justin Fields. Why they go with Trey Lance? Was it athletic ability? Was it potential talent? Was it maturity? What was the deciding factor? And it's got to be something small. And I'm so curious.
You know what I really think? I think like whoever the scouter that was assigned to him, like actually like fully invested in him. They're like, this is gonna be the guy. Because nowadays that's like the big thing. Like back in the day, they always used to tell us like, yeah, we don't know about you, your family, all this, blah, blah, blah. But now these coaching staffs in the NFL are trying to be mimicking college ranks, where they want to go out and go see the high school players. And now we're going to know about your mom. Now you're going to know about your dad, your brother, your sister. Because if you look at it, that's what Urban Meyer did down in Jacksonville. That's what Urban Meyer's doing right now. You know what I'm saying? He's doing that shit like he's an actual college coach again. Not like a professional with this. Like, he's trying to know these players. So that's my only thing. That's the only thing that's been going through my mind of why he got picked up so early. Other than that, there's nothing.
Again,
compared to what you told me and what you told me that wouldn't even kind of make any sense.
You know what I mean? There's got to be something that we don't see. I don't know. That's what I wanted.
But I'm
saying just have a theory. What do you think the theory is?
I'm saying even if he's a project, I just don't understand how he's a better project than Justin Fields. That's what doesn't make any sense. I'm not mad that they took Trey Lance early. I'm mad they took him over Justin Fields.
I'm mad they just took him early because this man's going to be on the board. And like you just said, Gordy, he didn't have the same fucking stats that Carson did when he was at North Dakota State.
When it really comes down to it, the only thing that I could possibly think of, because I feel like Justin is more athletic. I think he has a lot more experience.
Facts, legitimately.
You know what I'm saying? But if that's not the case, and they're both good guys, they're both guys that work hard, it has to come down to brains. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's watching tape and making decisions while watching film, whether it just be simple intellectuality and having that conversation with people, it has to be a brain situation. That's just my own personal
it's funny
thoughts.
Because Fields strikes me as having like a really good head and like a really good football mind. Like that's why I'm looking for exactly what you're looking for. I'm looking for something that says, hey, as an organization, we clearly want this type of quarterback. And if we have two options, Fields or Lance, what's the reason why they go with Lance over Fields? Exactly. That's the piece of the puzzle that I need, and I'm looking for it. And it's got to be like a real piece of insider info, because it's nothing that's apparent like to me or you guys or anybody else.
Nope.
So I don't know. It's got to be something random.
Because do we know who their receivers are? Do you know anybody on the
49ers? They got Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Who else? They got a couple. They actually have a couple good.
But do you see what I'm saying?
George Kittle.
Exactly my point. I didn't even get to Kittle yet, but that's my point.
And that was actually the other thing I said on the Dr. Football show. Is I said I think Trey Lance, out of all the quarterbacks, I guess you can argue Mac Jones, but aside from Mac Jones, the other four quarterbacks, right. Trey Lance is easily going into the best situation when you look at the offense that he's going into, the coaching system he's going into. He's so set up for success.
And that's why I asked, because to bring up to your point, like, he probably is in the best situation because he has all that fucking talent around him. You know what I mean? Like, they could just fucking throw him in the fire. Let's have him compete with Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or they could just be like, hey, Jimmy, we're actually just going to put you in the back. I want to see what this guy can do right now.
We sending you to Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we just kind of want to see what this dude can do right now. Yeah, have fun backing up Tannehill. That's his team. But anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he has people around him, so I'm
sure.
not gonna keep hating on it. I want to see what he can do. But
No,
they did not have to take him that high.
No, I
You
don't.
know what I'm saying?
I don't think they had to take him. Like I said, I think it's a couple things. I don't think they had to take him. I personally probably would have taken Fields. But all that being said, I still think he has the chance to be like a very good quarterback. Whether that's immediately, who knows? But a year, 2 years from now, I think he could be a really good quarterback. Especially if he has another, a good quarterback kind of helping like mentor him, and he's in a good team, good locker room, good environment. But honestly, just a few more quick football things because I know we want to talk a little basketball.
Yeah, we're gonna get
but
to Kyrie.
I do just want one more thing. Two other teams that their picks kind of bugged me a little bit. First one I'm gonna go with is the Green Bay Packers, and I'm gonna tell you why it bugged me because I forget the guy's name, but he was a cornerback. Okay, he's a cornerback, and just like the Jacksonville Jaguars situation, the Green Bay Packers, their deepest spot is their secondary. That's their deepest spot. They have problems at wide receiver.
Big time.
They have problems getting pressure on the quarterback. They have problems in the O-line. And they took another defensive back with their first round pick. It's just like some type of shit like that. Like, I'm not the smartest dude in the room, and I'm certainly not a football guru, and I don't know as much as these GMs, but sometimes you ask yourself, like, how can something that seems so common sense be so far off with, like, what the experts are, like, saying? I don't know.
And you already know why. They did that shit out of pettiness.
That's exactly it, bro. There's a slap in the face pick. Yeah,
like,
slap in the face
for
pick.
sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, Aaron you're gonna do this shit hours
Isn't that
before the
fucked
draft.
up at the highest level of sports when all the big money's involved? You still got people being petty, doing stupid shit like that.
Bro,
it sucks, but it's like that's
pride.
the
But
point.
if it was really business and pride, you'd pick the best player to help you win a Super Bowl, and you already got a deep ass secondary. So go get a pass rusher or another wide receiver or something like that. Like that's the type of shit.
Or just get another quarterback right then and there.
If you know
really
Aaron's,
wanna
well, they got Jordan Love.
Yeah,
Remember,
that's the
part of
thing.
that's part of the problem.
That was the deal.
They
Did
win
you
up.
see Jordan Love on the field last year?
No, but
They're not gonna put that man out there until they have to.
Oh
No.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? They're not gonna put that man out there until they have to. Now
They
Aaron
took
just forced it their hand.
Oh, they did.
Trade me or you're gonna sit me.
Well,
Y'all not gonna sit me. Are y'all gonna trade me? Let's find out.
Aaron Rodgers was not going to play next year. If he does, he's probably going to be like half-ass, play a game or two. But that he's done with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers
Yes.
is officially done.
Right.
With
And you know
the
what?
Green Bay Packers.
I kinda,
sure.
I don't hate that because, like I said, I definitely don't think they've done right by him over the last couple of years in terms
Several
of putting the team
years.
around him. It's like, look, it's kind of like it was my bitch with the Patriots and Bill Belichick in like kind of like the mid 2000s, like early 2010s. Was like, you got the best quarterback of all time, bro. You got a good team. You have a chance to like keep winning, and like you're like playing like the money game instead of just like stacking up rings. And that was the type of shit that
And it's kind of
pissed me
funny,
off,
bro,
Like,
because even after all that bullshit, we
still want. I know that exactly.
It's always the funniest part
That
because
is
it's
the
like
funniest part.
it's a hindsight situation, but it's like really it's not because
we still won 6. I know, yeah. Thank God
You know
it was
what I'm saying?
at the beginning and end. So we were happy at the beginning and we were
Right.
happy at the end. So
But it
we
was
can
just
look back at the
like,
shit at the middle and gloss over it.
you
but-
feel what I'm saying? But to your point, to Green Bay's pick, they should have got my guy Michael Parsons.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
Parsons.
sure they should have got
Because he went to Dallas.
Yeah.
And I always remember, I was like, damn, there was some dude on Penn State I was looking up, and I just saw it
Yeah.
right now. Michael Parsons. That would have been perfect.
No, it was. I think Michael Parsons was Alabama, right? Because I think it was.
No. He was at Penn State.
Was it Penn State? I thought
Penn
it was.
State,
I
yeah.
thought it was. I
What'd
thought
you
it was
think?
Odafe. Who's the dude? Who's the linebacker from Penn State that sat out? It was like Patrick. Something, you know?
Was he
one of the
Nigerian?
Yeah, it
He
was
was probably-
one of the
yeah,
Africans.
yeah.
That's- I
couldn't
thought-
even say it. But yeah, Michael Parsons though. Like I don't know if you saw the draft, but he was a dude up there with his son and all
Yes,
that.
yeah.
He was a beast
Yeah,
at Penn
he
State.
sat out last year, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
A beast at Penn State, and I was like, damn, I do actually remember him.
Yep.
And I looked at that pick, I was like, all right, that was kind of not a bad pick, but it's just like, damn.
Yeah, I'm not mad they went defense. I'm mad they picked someone that's in
They're
the
deep
deepest
in that
part
position.
of the defense.
No, and I
Exactly.
feel you
know
on
what
that.
I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying. Like, they
So,
should have won
right.
defense, like you said,
Exactly.
but it's like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
these people are right here.
Their middle linebacker was like AJ Hawker. I don't even know. It was some shit. I don't even. But anyway, yeah, I didn't like the Packers pick. And then one more pick I want to touch on before we talk a little basketball is look. I get it, bro. You're pairing Trevor Lawrence with this college running back. I get Travis Etienne is good. He can run. He can catch. He's a good talent. But two things: James Robinson broke out and went the fuck off last year. So A, kind of a wasted pick in my opinion. B, how many times do you see a running back be the driving force behind a team that wins the Super Bowl? So it's like if you're rebuilding your franchise. You just picked supposedly the next heir apparent quarterback. You have a running back who nowadays in the NFL kind of becoming more of a dime a dozen commodity. And you got a dude who's a stud that you didn't have to waste high draft capital on that broke out last year. Right. You are fortunate enough to have another pick in the first round to maybe add like a weapon or an O lineman or beef up to start rebuilding the defense. Right. And you go take a running back.
And I'm going to tell you, thing that I've been saying from the jump, bro. These quarterbacks, they need that familiarity.
They do.
They need that familiarity.
Does that scare you? Like, is that scary that these guys like?
Kinda. I mean, you're looking at someone. You know what I'm saying? Not to be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be the right guard on the line. Oh yeah, you're gonna be like our second or third right receiver. Yeah. All that. You know what I'm saying? You're at the helm. This is it. You're under there. I like this. No. Kill. We're going to go this way. No. I don't like this. No, run play. Pass play. Fuck this. Play action play. You have to believe in that guy. Mm-hmm. So what do you have to do? You have to put someone back there that he knows that he's seen before. Oh, shit, I see him. I know what to do. I'm back calm. Yeah. Let's go. Now you put another veteran back there or someone you just know that they need at that position. He's got to be up there like, all right, we're going to do a pass. No. It's supposed to be a run. He's going to be fucking frazzled, like beyond frazzled. Now, if you just have that guy,
frizzled,
Miss Frizzle in this bitch, you go on the magic school bus. But if he got under the center, right? He actually looks around, sees his homeboy. That deep breath comes in. Let me collect myself. I got this.
So, do you guys think the new? Because and I guess this is part of a larger question. We see what we just said with Etienne and Lawrence. We see what happened with Burrow and Jamar Chase.
And that.
Yeah. So typically we've like in sports, it's never really been a thing. Like,
it's unprecedented, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've never seen pro teams like work angles where it's like, oh, like we want to pair like these guys from college together. It's like, is this a new thing now?
But do you see this is a whole new age.
It's a whole new type of stuff.
And now on top of that, Jacksonville has Urban, who is synonymous for being a college coach.
Yeah. And one of the best.
Really, though.
One of the best.
Even though I don't fuck with Ohio State, shout out to them. Y'all do y'all thing. We still representing the Big Ten. Anyway, he's doing what he knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I know this guy's going to be comfortable with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back into my roots of how did I used to recruit? You know what I'm saying? It's just bringing back all the stuff that I was saying before because, like, this is a new age. These people are going to be the franchise leaders for years to come, maybe even decades.
Yeah.
So to get them started, to get them right, to get them in the good headspace, you know what I'm saying? You got to get that familiar face back there.
All right.
And that's just me. Like I said, I don't know anything about it for real, but I just think that's how the game is evolving.
No, you know, it's interesting because I think it obviously, like, I don't think there's a wrong or a right. Like, I think, like, putting someone, like, pairing, like, skilled players that are familiar with each other or teammates that are familiar with each other and work well to each other.
Right.
Like, that, I don't think there's a bad thing. There's no flaw in that, right?
Right, for sure.
I think the only reason now why in these two situations it seemed weird is because, like, in both situations, the needs weren't there, right? If you were like, if the Bengals didn't have any wide receivers and then they go out and draft Jamar Chase, I think it goes down unanimously
Even with
as
them,
like
having a great offensive line.
Without a great offensive line, like same offensive line they have right now, but they don't have Tyler Boyd or T. Higgins, right?
Right.
If they go out and draft Jamar Higgins,
perfect.
in my mind, I'm like, that's one of the best picks of all time.
For sure.
But because they already got receivers, I sit here and I question it. So it's like, I don't think there's a right or wrong, because it's definitely the right logic that like the logic isn't flawed that goes into that
it's all
pick.
subjective. You're like,
It's all
yeah,
subjective.
you know what
So
I mean? Yeah.
it's just I think it's just interesting like how that goes back and forth. But yeah, I know. Let's pivot real quick because we've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
So let's get some basketball in here before we
Y'all
wrap
want
it
to
up.
pop this off?
I know
What's up?
we.
He was ready for this one.
I know we were just talking about football and them trying to start the season, but we trying to figure out how the basketball's at the end of the season. And some teams that we were looking at early in the season are not showing who they really are. And what a first team I wanted to bring up was the Los Angeles Lakers. Those dudes, you know what I'm saying? We saw them last in their quote unquote COVID season, winning it all, playing their best with AD being an absolute freak and LeBron James being LeBron James.
Yeah.
But LeBron James has been hurt. AD had back spasms last night. Who knows how he's going to be, what he's going to do in the playoffs. And the fact of the matter is, and honestly, this is the most shocked thing I think I've read in quite some time. LeBron James said after he hurt himself after this recent injury, he says he will never be 100% after that. He said he will never be what he was. He said in the article that he will not be after this injury. He says he will never feel like he once did. And that's how big this recent injury is.
What the fuck was the injury?
I believe it was ankle. You gotta look this up.
I thought
it was his ankle.
He sprained a fucking ankle or something.
He made a statement and said he no matter what, he won't feel as good as he did previously. Look it up.
What?
Which dumbfounds me that the fact that he would come out and say something this.
Ankle injury.
You know what I'm saying? An ankle injury. And the fact is, he's come back and on, but I
hate that.
And so it's is this the decline of LeBron James after this ankle injury? And I get it, but
it's father time, bro. You can't really outrun him. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Football, we all know is a contact sport, right? And you already know who I'm going to go to about this. Tom.
Yeah.
Doesn't get hit as much. Doesn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
LeBron's out there. He's a physical specimen. He's out there running, diving, jumping, going body to body with these people. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to put a toll on you. Also, in fact, what's he 30, 33?
LeBron, I think he's 32, 33. Yeah, he's around there. But look,
it's still coming up. You know what I mean?
Look, and my thing with LeBron is Father Time's undefeated, right? So,
always,
so it's I would rather you just say that, look,
my fault. Hold on. LeBron's 36.
Is he actually?
December 30th, 1984. He's 36.
Damn. He might even be 37.
He's turned 37 this year.
Yeah.
Because I just turned 27.
Damn.
Yeah, he's turning 37 this year.
Damn. So yeah, okay. So look, he's turned 37. Here's the thing. I would respect it so much more if he said, guys, I'm 37. I've been in the league for 18, 19 years. I'm not going to be what I was when I first came into it. But don't come out and say that I sprained my ankle. I'll never be the same. Because
did Mike do that? No? Did Mike ever say that? Nah,
no, bro.
He played till the fucking wheels fell off.
I bet he had sprained ankles you never even knew about.
Never even heard of. Went to the fucking Washington Wizards, man. And it was I'm playing out the rest of my days here. Y'all won't hear shit about me complain about nothing. That's why I always say Mike is the best.
He is the best.
6 rings.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's Michael Jordan's the best because his mentality, when you watched Michael Jordan play, bro, here's the thing, I can understand, I'll give LeBron, I'm not I might not be the biggest fan of LeBron, as I think sometimes he can be douchey with the stuff he says about his teammates and stuff like that. As far as a player goes, I give him all the respect in the world as a player.
Yeah, you
but
got to.
Just when you watch Jordan, right? Even just when you watch highlights, when you look at that man's face in the middle of a game,
we saw The
bro,
Last Dance.
That man is
so good.
Bro, he is every game he is going to war. He is going to war, and you are his fucking enemy. And he is either going to he's either going to win or kill you and himself and everybody else in the process of trying to win, bro.
Facts.
And when I watch LeBron, he just seems like he's cool, he's calm, he's talking with players on the other team, talking with players on the bench, making jokes with people. I'm like, you
want that.
Yes, that's exactly what. There's just something that like MJ had that killer fucking instinct,
And
bro.
Kobe
like,
had that
yes,
shit too.
Exactly.
I know we all seen that clip of Chris Rock sitting next to him. Kobe fucking locked in. Chris right there just making jokes, laughing, smiling. Kobe's like, I don't see this shit. I don't hear nothing because I'm trying to win this motherfucker.
You know LeBron would have like been dapping him up.
Yeah,
and
like,
shit,
man, you funny.
like-
Still probably would have won the game, but it's just like, that's not the killer instinct and mentality that you're supposed to have.
Exactly.
And that's why I always say Michael's the fucking best. He brought it out of every single person that was around him.
Mm-hmm.
How you get the best out of fucking Dennis Rodman when that man goes off to fucking Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Gets him back. And guess what? Like 20 plus rebounds the next game. He said some shit like that. Like, come on, man.
Bro, the thing
that's ridiculous.
That I used to love about that shit was like, and this is what I think makes someone like Phil Jackson a great players coach, because Phil Jackson, bro, how many coaches, right? Old school, new school, young, old, whatever. If you told him, hey, mid-season, I'm just not, I'm just gonna take some time off. Like, I'm not gonna practice. I'm not gonna be there. Like, I'll be back in like a week or like 2 weeks. Like, most coaches, organizations would be like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? You're just gonna be gone for like 2. Phil Jackson was like, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Go you'll be gone. Go reset yourself. Yeah, come back in like a week or so. Go to Vegas, party, do whatever you got to do, and then come back. He was a player's coach because he understood people, bro. He understood. He was like, yo, Dennis is talented as fuck, but right now it's like the middle. It's like the regular season where we're good where we are. Yeah, like he's like, yeah, like we're good where we are, and Dennis is like starting to lose himself a little bit. And he needs to go to Vegas and be Dennis. So you know what? That's not really protocol, but go ahead. Take a week off, skip practice, go do drugs and bang hookers and go to Vegas. Bro.
Basically, do it. Do what you got to do so that when you're back here, you are locked in. Yeah. You are the dentist that we pay for day in and day out. But, can you make that happen?
Sometimes. But Dennis didn't do that, did he?
Nah.
Dennis set his ass out there and said, you going to come to me. I ain't going nowhere. You want to come get me? Bring God out to get me. And Mike said, I'm on the way.
Yep. All I'm saying is Mike Jordan. I thought it was so funny because in the documentary, Mike's like, I'm not going to disclose who was in that room, and then all of a sudden they come in the room and who pops up. He's like, I'm Carmen Electra, and I was in that room with. It was so funny. All right, it wasn't me. I didn't divulge.
And that's why I respect Mike, man. He gonna keep it a buck and a beam with you. Just know, like, yo, this is how I'm gonna run my shit.
Yeah.
LeBron's not doing it the same way. And that's the only character flaw I would say in the two.
Yeah, facts.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron did some special shit. Being down 3-1 against the Warriors, coming back on this.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool and all. But you don't have the 6 rings. Mike went to every single final. Didn't lose that bitch. What do you mean? What is losing? We made it this far. I'm not losing. Yeah. I'm not going home.
Granted, he was in the toughest conference like each and every year. I don't know.
But still, bro, like,
still.
But he always wants to say, I don't want to be compared to Mike, or I think I'm better than Mike. Well, do the shit. Beat him. Come on now. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You were in a tough conference. Be better. Mm-hmm. I know you're the greatest right now, but be better then. Because at the end of the day, this shit is all a competition.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's why we hold stats. That's why we hold records. All of that shit.
Exactly.
It's not for no reason.
Bro, like, I know like a couple of your losses were to like some of those like Warrior legacy teams that can like are gonna go down as like some of the best teams of all time.
Series is a series.
And like exactly. Like I know, like, look, the Warriors that beat you a couple times, they were fucking nasty. I get it.
For sure.
The Spurs that beat you once, they were nasty. I get it.
They were grown men, and he was a pup.
They were grown, exactly.
Exactly. And he was a pup.
And exactly. But like, and then like, he lost twice early on his career, right? He was like, it was like one of his first years in the league. I think he played the Lakers,
and then he played you remember, Nowitzki.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's the one.
That's the one that he could have went over, but he didn't.
Yes.
No, explain on that. No, for real.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a couple like what I gotta be fair, right? Like there's a couple of losses that LeBron's teams have had in the championships where I just look at the other team that he was playing and I say to myself like, damn, like that other team was a fucking wagon. LeBron's team was there kind of just because he's LeBron and like he got them there, but like it would have been a miracle to go up against like and beat a wagon like that, like Spurs team, or like some of those fucking Golden State teams. You know what I mean?
But for sure.
Like for instance, like the year when like the Warriors set all sorts of records, it was like that's a fucking uphill battle. Or like the year like the Spurs came back on their revenge tour after the Ray Allen.
Right,
it was like, dude, to beat a team like that, that's an uphill battle.
Hard as fuck.
But like the year he lost to like Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs, like that type of shit.
07? No, 07.
MJ would not have lost that series to the Mavs.
No, bro.
No.
And it got to the point where I remember that year, it was like a year after when he lost to the Mavericks. There was so many rappers just saying, oh yeah, blah, 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 I'm not going out like LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Tyler, the Creator.
My guy, bro, all Future Wolfgang killed them all. I was at all that shit. Tyler said, you going to like LeBron against the Mavericks. You lost.
Goddamn Goblin.
I was like, oh my God, you got Tyler the Creator.
Swag, you lost.
You feel me? Like for y'all though, Tyler the Creator, like how he is right now is nothing like how he was when he first came on the scene.
He's different.
Very, very different. And you got this dude that's from LA that likes to skateboard, do all this don't give a fuck about sports.
Yeah.
Rapping about you. That's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, that was bad. That was
From
bad.
Ladera Heights, that's fucking embarrassing.
That was the first year. That was his first year in Miami too, bro. That was the year that like, yo, because remember, obviously afterwards he won. I think
win.
he
One,
won,
2, 3, 4,
dude.
5. He's just gonna listen. Oh, and mine.
And then that's the first
That's
y'all
what I'm
do that
saying,
shit?
bro. Like you
How
gave
many?
yourself the most obnoxious welcoming, the most obnoxious intro, the whole fucking year. ESPN, ABC, nobody can stop talking about LeBron and the super team and D Wade and Chris Bosh and how they're just so good. And then they go up against little Dirk Nowitzki and all these underrated Mavs. And it was, first off, not to take anything. I can't take anything away from. I will say this: if you go back and watch that playoff run that the Mavericks had,
They were playing different.
Yeah,
they were not only were they playing different. Dirk Nowitzki, like he played like Michael Jordan that fucking playoff run, bro. Like
he was a true leader.
He
though.
actually did. So like,
what he just said.
you know what I mean? Like he was.
leader.
So like,
True leader.
I don't know. It's just interesting. I think there's, like you said, it's a big difference like between Michael and LeBron, and it's not necessarily their physical abilities. To me, is up here, and that's a big thing.
You just have to have. And hey, since we're talking about LeBron, let's go talk about his counterpart that you really can't get away from, Kyrie Irving.
Sir Kyrie.
Sir Kyrie, Mr. I'll be back if you guys will allow me. And then ghost mode.
Done.
Ghosted us. Anyway, I'm watching the Nets game last night, right, bro? And Kyrie is actually going off. He's cooking. He had 40 plus points. I think he had like 7 plus assists, like 2-3 rebounds. Like good shit.
Yeah.
We all also know who's on that team as well. Kevin Durant. Earlier this year, Kyrie came out with that statement saying, I've never been paired with a player that I can fully trust.
Damn.
That I can fully trust.
I mean,
and we all know who this man's been paired up with in Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
So-
that's a
That's some
big.
shade,
So
man.
to my point, I'm like, all right. I circled this game last night. I really want to see it. Kyrie's doing his thing. I look at KD. Man's missing 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter, late in the game. Not hitting a thing. Clutch now. They're only down by 5. Kyrie's driving, not even pulling up, making threes, driving, getting fouled, getting buckets. They pass it. KD gets it, makes a little move, shoots it, shakes his head, starts revving, like, oh, man, looking around. To me, I don't know about y'all, but that's not being paired with the greatest player. And
No.
you can't come out with that statement saying that, and then he's going to come out and do exactly that. Nothing.
You know what would just make like me just like if I had a magic wand and I could wave it and this is how the NBA season would end. And obviously we're Celtics fans here, but forget the Celtics.
Mhm.
It would be Chris Paul and the Suns, because I think that's a team. Now that's a team, right? Chris Paul and the Suns
are balling.
Not only they balling, but they ball as a team, not
sure,
like as an
yeah.
individual. Not as individuals. Like Brooklyn, to me, that's a bunch of individuals.
Oh, yeah.
balling. The Suns are a team.
Really good individuals.
I want to see. I want to see.
They're really good individuals.
Really
Now,
good.
don't sleep on them. You know what I'm saying?
What did we just talk about with Dirk in that super team with LeBron and D Wade and Chris
Teams
Bosh
win
that first
championship,
year?
man.
So I would love to see someone like Chris Paul, who's ringless, been in the league all this time, just
In the West too?
in the West, bro. He's been just like Chris Paul. Like, you can't ask for like a better like representative of your league, like a more like professional like player. Like, Chris Paul is just like a good guy, and you want to see him win so badly. He's been close a bunch of times. He's never been able to make that final push.
Never.
And now he's towards the end of his career. He's balling out. He's on a team that's balling out. When I say team, I mean team. I would love to see them go up against Brooklyn and just fucking just mop the floor.
That would be
I
cool.
love something
That'd
like
be
that.
tough.
You can see that, but is it going to happen? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. You know who I think is going to make it back over there? You know who I think is going to do it?
Who?
I think the Clippers are going to make it there.
Wow.
I think
you think they're gonna
Clippers-
actually
I
make
think
it?
they're actually going to make it. There's something inside me that's telling me is like Kawhi, Paul George is going to figure it out. I mean, his postseason last year was probably the most despicable thing, and they decided to give him 100, like even more money, which didn't make any sense
Why
to me.
did they
I
get rid
wanna
of Doc
puke.
Rivers? Can someone answer me why they got rid of Doc Rivers, bro?
I don't know.
Doc Rivers.
I don't know. Doc Rivers was
Doc
the
Rivers,
best thing to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
He was the best thing that happened to the
absolutely
Clippers.
right. They gave him all that money.
All
and then
that
they
money,
let him
man,
Doc.
dude,
I was
man.
like, that was a head scratcher to me. I was like, why wouldn't you just get that dude out there and find someone else?
Not only
But-
is Doc Rivers one of the best coaches, not only in the
Ever.
league, but ever,
Ever.
but he, similar to Phil Jackson, he is a dude who is proven to be able
Gonna
to
let his people
manage.
be,
He's a player's coach. He can manage superstars. He can manage big personalities,
Right.
big egos. Look at that. I mean, look. We had Rondo, Garnett, Perkins, Pierce, Allen, all those dudes, and he kept
Shrek and Donkey on
he
the back.
kept
House,
everybody
Tony Allen,
alive, bro.
Eddie House,
he
like,
he
oh
kept
my-
all of those studs, professionals, egos in line.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers can do it all. I don't understand how you put what happened last year on Doc Rivers and send him packing. Like,
can't.
that
You
to
can't.
me, bro,
You
is
really
just
can't.
like,
Paul's the
you
one
really
that's out there is supposed to be executing. Doc is just writing
Bro,
all these
remember
plays.
Paul,
It's tough to
was
do
banging
with
his
this
daughter too. Yeah, so maybe that maybe
Well, my supposed player wasn't playing well against something from my kid.
God
I
damn
mean,
it, he's
I
not
probably want to
scoring
leave
and he's
too.
just going to blitz my daughter after this? Oh, I got to get out of here.
I'm going to Philly.
Yeah, I gotta get
John
out of
B
here.
won't bang my daughter.
I hope.
That's what he said.
I hope.
That's what he said when he went to LA too.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to LA. Paul George won't bang my daughter.
He won't do that. He won't bang my daughter.
But yeah,
Paul George is a respectable dude.
Yeah, man.
oh shit. But yeah, honestly, hey, I just realized we've been at this for a while. I've had a great time tonight, guys.
Me too, bro.
We
Me
definitely
too.
got more to talk about. That's why we'll be back next week with another edition of the Trenches. We talked a little bit today about NFL draft, a little basketball, a little Patriots, a little bit of everything. We kind of covered it all. Like I said, I'm Justin. I'm here with Steve and Gordon. You're with the Trenches. You're with Hedge Better. We'll be back next week. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and look for us coming out soon. Apple, Spotify, as well as YouTube. And we'll be with you guys next week. Appreciate you guys.
Love y'all.